and share. So, stress, cortisol, obesity, page 147, latest edition of your book, and page, let me pull this down, page 6 in the lecture handout. And this is the latest version that I just created today. So I'm going to be uploading right after lecture on Canvas. So has anyone heard of this cortisol hormone before? Not cortisone, okay, or hydrocortisone creams that you use for, you know, itching, burning, but this is cortisol. It's a hormone. Another name that we use for this hormone is a stress hormone. This hormone is a steroid hormone or a fat-based hormone. It is produced by your adrenal glands right above your kidneys. Okay, that's why if you have a lot of this hormone in your system, you end up having adrenal fatigue because this hormone is constantly being secreted by these glands, which is not supposed to be a normal thing, okay? Yes, we do need the stress hormone to get us going. It's like a kicker, but at certain situations, not all the time. But since in this day and age, this is our disease of our age, stress. Everybody's stressed, even youngest people, like elementary school kids are stressed, especially given our situation right now with the unknown with this virus. Everything in the world, everybody's stressed, and this hormone ends up being secreted over and over again, and it runs in our bloodstream. And number two, so these are the situations that you find this hormone to be released. Exercise, because exercise is a stress to the body. And cortisol is a catabolic hormone, not anabolic. Anabolism is making up new tissue, like we talked about. Okay, from small pieces, you make up a new big piece. And catabolism or metabolism is the exact opposite, where you break it down into smaller pieces. The big piece, break it down into smaller pieces. Why do we need to break down a big, large chunk of for example, glycogen into smallest pieces during exercise? Because we need it for energy. We have to break it down into its smallest pieces so we can turn it into ATP to be used as a fuel to fuel our exercise. So exercise is one. Fasting is another one, because there's not immediate source of energy during fasting in our bloodstream. So we have to break down our storage, glycogen or fat, so that therefore we need the cortisol hormone to induce breakage of the storages. Food intake is also another situation where you release cortisol hormone. And stress, okay, because the body, or cause the body to release cortisol. Number three, the cortisol also mobilizes energy, okay, by tapping into fat stores, like I just explained, and moving it from one location to another. So this is not really uptaking or breaking down the storages, but mobilizing or changing location from one place to another. So delivering it to hungry tissues such as working muscle. Okay, so it's taking from one place to another. 4, chronic stress can lead to weight gain, unfortunately. Cortisol is the culprit, stimulating appetite. That's the culprit, okay? Not the cortisol hormone breaking down the storages, because it doesn't really make sense when you think about it, because when you break down the storages, you end up using them as an energy source, so you should be losing weight. But the culprit here is stimulation of appetite and making you eat more. So during the intermittent recovery periods, while a person is experiencing chronic stress in their life, or they perceive that they're having a lot of stress in their life, it stimulates the appetite. Then with increased insulin levels, why do we need the insulin? We need the insulin to put away. Insulin is an anabolic hormone. It's the opposite of cortisol. So when your sugar levels rise after you eat, okay, in your bloodstream, insulin comes in the picture to put it away in your storages. With increased insulin levels, along with the increased cortisol levels after you eat because of increased appetite, it activates lipoprotein lipase. It's an enzyme, okay? That enzyme facilitates deposition of fat, so storages of fat. That's how you get fat or obese, actually, because it's a chronic situation and it feeds itself back constantly. This causes accumulation of fat in the trunk areas, the midsection, visceral fat, which is the most dangerous for your health. So that's the cycle of obesity when you are under a lot of stress. Therefore, now we know that we're under stress constantly, especially during this time of the coronavirus with the unknown future. We have to work on this stress to reduce it. There is no question that everybody is perceiving some sort of stress. So how do we do this? Stress maintenance, pages 162 to 164. It's an inevitable part of living, especially now. When we feel too much stress, we will react with fight or flight response. Okay, that's again, our body's sympathetic nervous system making you ready, okay, for a challenge. This could be a challenge that when you face a tiger in the middle of nowhere, where there's no help, so you have to flee or fight with the tiger. So all of the body's physiological responses are ready for you to fight or flee. Your heart rate is going up, your sweat rate is going up, your blood pumping is up. So everything is up, okay, on the go, not relaxed. So what you need to do is to bring it back to normal. There are ways to do that, okay? Many ways to do that. And it's, again, individual. Like we always talk about, exercise response, eating, energy, everything is individual. And you have to find your own individual outlet to bring this fight or flight into back to normal, okay? And there is a video I put here. It's a little longer than we can do it right now, but I would highly recommend you watch it in your own time. But main idea here, I just watched it. I mean, it was just released yesterday by Dr. Mark Hyman. I've been following him for a while, for the last 5 to 10 years. He's a functional medicine doctor, Cleveland Clinic. And functional medicine is where you look at a human being as a whole, instead of just, just looking at the heart or the skin, like the modern medicine is now doing. So what they're discussing is chronic inflammation that is caused by the foods that we eat, the behaviors that we adopt in our lives, like alcohol or smoking or not exercising. That chronic inflammation we talked about, when you have an injury, you have inflammation response in the body, like swelling, bruising. That happens within your organs also. that chronic inflammation affects your brain, that in a way that your frontal cortex, where you make your logical decisions, is in conflict with your amygdala, which is your primitive brain, which makes you make impulsive decisions like, oh, I'm so stressed out, let me just drink this bottle of wine type of behavior, or just let me just lash out to this person who just got me so mad in traffic type of behavior. So they get conflict in a conflicted situation. So what you need to do on your part is to reduce the inflammation. And I need to show you this. Okay, so this is, I'm gonna stop this screen and then share another one with you. Foods that fight inflammation. Are you guys seeing this? Can you see this?
Yes, we can see it. Well, I can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, thank you. Anti-inflammation foods. First, I want to show you, this is by Harvard University. Inflammation foods down there at the bottom. Fried foods, sodas, refined carbs, like your white carbohydrates, white pasta, white bread, white anything, lard, processed meats, okay? And when you look up above, anti-inflammation foods, tomatoes, and all the berries, by the way, everything, strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, fruits, okay, cherries, oranges, nuts, almonds, walnuts, and other nuts because they have the good fat in them, olive oil, best oil whatsoever, leafy greens, and fatty fish. And if you hate fish, eating fish, you can take this as a supplement, okay? So your purpose in life in terms of your food intake should be reducing inflammation, because we are prone to increase inflammation with the type of foods that we eat constantly, okay? All right, let's keep going with the handout. So how to take charge and beat stress. Again, it's an individual thing. We have to find our own outlet. Talk about your problems. If you have health insurance, make sure to, seek help through your psychiatry or psychology department. See a doctor. If you have any physical ailments that are caused by your stress, like headaches, neck aches, spinal aches, everything that is caused by the stress. Exercise. Exercise is a good way of releasing the negativity out of your body vigorously to vent anxiety, okay? Use time management skills so you don't increase your anxiety, so you're on top of things. Learn to relax, be selfish, find a way to relax and be selfish about it. I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but that's your own way of relaxing, and that should be your time to relax. Get organized, become more efficient, again, to be on top of things so you don't get caught unprepared and unprecedented, and you're just increasing or compounding the anxiety. Take short breaks or vacations. That is a key, okay? Even when you're studying, try not to build on the stress by just staying there. Even though you're distracted, try not to force yourself to stick to whatever you're trying to study. Just take a break, come back, you'll be much better at it. That can be applied to anything in life. Look ahead, prepare for things, events to come, being optimistic, stay away from drugs and alcohol. That is again evidence-based. Alcohol makes you relax when you first take a couple sips, but then it makes you feel drowsy and even worse afterwards. Same is true with drugs. Improve your eating habits, I just showed you. Set a regular bedtime, sleep. I'll show you something else. And no electronics in bed. Blue light has been shown to adversely affect your sleep. Technostress, the anxious feeling one gets by feeling reliant on technological devices. Just think about how you feel when there's no internet, especially during these days. Go outside for a walk, be in nature, and exercise. That has been shown to reduce inflammation as well. Being in nature. Touch a tree's body, okay? Make sure to be in contact with the soil. Get your negativity out of your system into the soil. Ground yourself. The 8 energy boosters, page 165. 1, start by eating healthy and enough. We've been talking about it. Drink more water. Aim for half a cup, 1 cup every hour you are awake. You can even set up an alarm for yourself. I've seen people doing, for walking and for drinking water, they set up an alarm clock on their computer or on their cell phone. Drink water, pace yourself around the, the apartment or in the apartment. Get your carbohydrates because that's the main fuel, remember, for your exercise. Take your vitamins, minerals. If you don't seem to have a good diet, make sure to take them as a supplement, especially vitamin B, C, calcium, magnesium, potassium, omega-3 acids, like we talked about, to reduce inflammation. Keep an eye on iron, especially in women. Don't skip breakfast to maintain blood sugar levels. We talked about this. And sleep on. I know that our sleep schedule has been twisted because of this virus and online teaching. But if you find yourself not being able to fall asleep, I have a strategy for you. This is the link, and it's been working for a hyperactive individual like myself. This is the only breathing I found useful, to be honest with you. None of the breathings, I cannot seem to relax myself and calm myself down except for this, and this guarantees to put you to sleep. So I'll play this video for you, okay? And exercise, of course. Okay, let's stop this one and then go to this one again. And it's only 3 minutes and I wanna watch it with you guys. Can you see it?
The famous 4-7-8 breath,
Do
relaxing
it.
breath that I teach to all patients and doctors and students and friends. Another yoga breathing technique. In this, you try to keep your tongue in the yogic position, touching the tip of the tongue to the ridge of tissue just behind your upper front teeth, like that, and try to keep it there the whole time. You breathe in quietly through your nose to a count of 4, and you hold your breath for a count of 7, and then blow air out forcefully through your mouth. Helps if you purse your lips out and you make a whoosh sound when you do that. So the exercise begins by letting all the air out through your mouth. Then you close your mouth, breathe in silently to a count of 4, hold your breath for a count of 7, out through your mouth audibly to a count of 8, and you will repeat this for 4 breath cycles. Looks like this.
Do it.
That's it. You must do this at least twice a day. You can do it more frequently if you want, but never more than 4 breath cycles at one time, at least for the first month. With it, you can increase to 8 breath cycles, and that's the absolute maximum. It's desirable to slow the whole exercise down as you practice it. What limits you is how long you can comfortably hold your breath, but as you practice that, you'll get better and better at it. And after doing this for 4 or 6 weeks, you can begin trying to use it for things. If somebody says something that pushes your button, you do this exercise before you react. It's a great way to deal with cravings. It's a great way to help you fall asleep. If you get up in the middle of the night for any reason, get back in bed to do the exercise, you'll fall asleep easily. After 2 months, 3 months of regular practice, there are very significant changes that happen in physiology. This lowers heart rate, it lowers blood pressure, improves digestion. It is a very powerful anti-anxiety measure, in fact, much more powerful than the anti-anxiety drugs that are commonly prescribed. Takes no time, needs no equipment, very time and cost effective. Everything to recommend it, so I urge you to begin practicing it.
Ten-minute guided imagery script. Please make yourself comfortable. Close your eyes.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Yes.